Are you in a second marriage? Second marriages have some unique issues. The first is, what happens when one of the spouses dies? Do they have children from a previous marriage? Do they have a surviving spouse? How is their estate going to be divided between the surviving spouse and the children from a prior marriage? Well, it's complicated. The main issue in second marriage planning is the careful balancing that's required between the needs of the surviving spouse and the needs of the children from the first marriage. This requires a discussion as to the relationships between the children from the first marriage and the spouse from the second marriage. Do they get along well? Do they have a relationship? What if we don't plan properly and the surviving spouse is in charge of all the assets? How are the children from the first marriage going to feel about their share of the inheritance? Very insecure. And in fact, it leads to bickering and sometimes litigation. What we want to do is we want to assure that everybody sees the plan as being fair to all concerned. How much does the surviving spouse need to have a lifestyle to which they're accustomed? And what would be fair to provide to the children of the first marriage, who perhaps shouldn't have to wait sometimes for a much younger spouse to pass on before they get a share of the inheritance? So it depends on the assets, it depends on the relationship, depends on the family, depends on the well-being of the children and their financial status. So many things go into second marriage planning. But what I would say to a client who's considering a plan for a second marriage is come in and find out what your options are, especially with the house. What's going to happen with the house? The surviving spouse have the right to live there? For how long? Can the surviving spouse sell the house and buy a condo because the house is too much to carry? And what happens to the proceeds on the house on the second death? To find out more about second marriage planning, I invite you to come and see us for a free consultation here at Ettinger Law Firm. And I'll tell you what we've learned practicing in this area for over 30 years and having prepared over 30,000 estate plans. I'd like to share with you what are some of the best practices. What have other people done? Why have they done it? What makes families feel secure and helps keep them together? The consultation is free. You get the information and you go home and sift through it and you decide what's best for you.